What is going on, y'all? This is the Caveman. I'm here with Football with Oz Austin for episode 83 of Against the Blitz. We took a little bit of a break for the Christmas holiday. We, decided why force any conversation and just enjoy some of the time that we have in the last week. Hopefully, Tyler Shuck didn't deliver coal in your fantasy football stocking like he has to mine in the past. But wow, week 17 was a doozy for a lot of different reasons. We are recording fresh off of potentially the game of the year. This was a battle of gods on multiple levels, and it came down to the final play. But before we break it down, of course, Discord linked it down in the description. We have made it holiday themed, so we're really getting into the spirit these days. So if you're interested in that, or potentially bot scamming sports betting pick sellers, we have a few of those come through. So if you want to double your bread, that could be where you do it too. So all of that in the description. Week 17. Let's talk with the game that's fresh out our minds first. The Niners and the Bears. This one comes down to the final play, legitimately 4 seconds left, 4 to 5 yards out. Caleb Williams and the friends for the game, they can't get it done. What's your biggest takeaway from this one? If you had to choose one in your humongous bag.
I think that's why I liked the game, because there was I didn't even know if I had a takeaway. I think it's just I think my biggest takeaway was Shanahan. I don't think I've heard a single person talk about the 49ers being a contender, even though they might be the number 1 seed. Everyone's just they're naming off the Rams. They're like, maybe the Packers and Eagles could still do it. I have not heard a single soul say, well, the Niners could do it, but they could. This is a team where their defense has been injured, but their offense is playing great. And if Brock Purdy can keep this little thing he's got going on the last couple of weeks, if CMC can do whatever the hell he just did in this game, they're good. They could beat anybody in the playoffs, especially if they get the number 1 seed, they get the bye and the home field advantage. I wouldn't be shocked at all if they made another Super Bowl this year.
Agreed. And you make a good point. It really, there's not much conversation from a 49ers contending standpoint. And I think maybe now over these last couple of weeks, we'll start to hear it more, especially after this win. But Brock Purdy, similar to like a Trevor Lawrence right now, they're playing their best football possibly of their career. Like Brock Purdy threw 4 or 5 touchdowns against the Colts last week in a big victory, and now he comes out against the Bears in a game where he has to go blow for blow against Caleb Williams instead of Phillip Rivers, and he's got what it takes. I've been historically a Brock Purdy hater to some extent, or at least a realist, we'll put it that way. And this was, I think, his best game of his career, I could say comfortably. Like, he has always shown the ability to extend plays when necessary, but this was the perfect blend of, taking what he can get when he has it, throwing on time, but also extending when he needed. That touchdown he threw to Juszczyk was a perfect example. Like, it looked like he was dead to rights, but Andrew Billings isn't quite the most nimble player ever, and Austin Booker just flat out missed. But yeah, it all comes down to really who's running the show, and that's Kyle Shanahan. I have been a pro Kyle Shanahan coach of the year supporter for a better part of this season, and when you're going up against arguably the other top contender for that award and you beat him on primetime, that's almost like when a quarterback wins a big game to basically secure his MVP, like when Lamar beat the Niners a few years ago.
Yeah.
That's what this kind of feels like from
a took Purdy's MVP because Purdy turned the ball over 5 times.
Yes.
Yeah. Not today, though. Primetime Purdy was alive and well. What you were describing, what he was doing, it was kind of like what everyone thought Bryce Young would be doing, that scramble around, use your feet, make plays, just kind of point guard your way down the field. It was perfect. That was one of the better outside of the very first throw. It was very reminiscent of that time Kareem Hunt fumbled on his first run ever, and then he ran for 150 yards the rest of the game and destroyed them. It kind of felt like that. Like he was bad on the first throw and then was nearly flawless the rest of the game.
Mm. He truly was. I mean, he only threw, what is that, 9 incompletions, and who's to say how many of those were truly drops? Only took 1 sack, and then, of course, the pick on the first play. But other than that, to put up 42 points, win the football game, while spotting the other offense or the other team 7 points to begin with.
Yeah.
It's hard to say that you could ask for much more. And this is, from a bigger picture standpoint, a Niners team that is, like you said, defensively speaking, pretty strapped for talent. I mean, we're running Tatum Butane out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's got the green dot or not, but I know he's filling in for Fred Warner right now, and I don't know if that transitioned in the process, but he's out there. I mean, we had like Chase Lucas out there in the secondary. Like we're talking about bare bones, and it looked like it. It looked like it at times, but they made the biggest play of the game on 4th and 4 or whatever it was at the goal line. And even the hook and ladder stopped that. I can never say his name.
Diamador Lenore.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
he came up with a big tackle.
Yeah, that was risky because they were talking about it, and like I never give credit to Chris Collinsworth for anything because he was really pissing me off today. But like they had like 20 seconds roughly, and they just they had I think first down. I think maybe second down after the spike. I don't remember where they were, but they had a couple shots that they could have really farmed into the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
And they decided to opt down to the hook and ladder to get down to, around the 5-yard line. But you got 1 shot after that. It was basically like a 2-point conversion they had to hit on.
Mm.
So I get it. You move yourself closer, but I don't know. Like based off of how good that coverage was on that final play, I really do wish they got a couple more chances. I felt like it took them so long to get up and go spike that ball. Like, I don't know if Niners players were like holding on to legs or if Swift wasn't getting up, or I don't know what the problem was, but yeah, they burned off so much time just to gain another first down when they were already within touchdown range.
I think Ben Johnson called that 100% expecting them to score. Like in his mind, I'm guessing that he's thinking this is either scoring or maybe it's going out of bounds because the hook part or the ladder part of the hook and ladder, it was Swift is running toward the sideline, right? Like he's coming from the inside of the field, catching it, and they're running toward the sideline. So in his mind, he's probably thinking he either gets out or he scores. I don't think, Ben Johnson calling that play is expecting him somehow to get tackled short. But I think, hindsight, he probably doesn't call that play if he knows that, you're probably only getting 1 shot to follow. And it sucks because I thought, even though the play was breaking down on the ensuing opportunity, Caleb almost hit that throw. Like he was falling backwards. It was low and in the dirt. It came up short on somebody. I don't know who it was.
It was Burden.
It was Burden. Yes. Yeah. Talk about another guy that had a monster breakout performance. 8 for 138 and a touchdown for Luther. I mean, he left it out there.
He did. Yeah. I mean, it was the big play to open up that huge monster touchdown. It was a couple other plays where it was thrown short of the sticks and he made plays after the catch, doing his best Shakir impression. It was awesome. Like he legit looks all the part of a first round wide receiver. And I know he had a late start because he was in a stacked receiver room, but I don't think it's comfortable to say Tet McMillan or Ibuka or Matthew Golden are better than him. Like he very much looks the part of the best receiver in the class so far.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I said it around the trade deadline. Like I thought DJ Moore could have been traded then. I guess it's probably nice that Rome Odunze, seeing he's missed time down the stretch here, that they have DJ Moore around still, but he had 1 catch today, and that ties Durham Smythe for receptions on the day. Everyone else, Jade Walker had more catches. DeAndre Swift had more catches. Kyle Monangai had more catches. Like, he really is just an afterthought in this pass catcher room. So, and watching Luther Burden kind of burst on the scene like this and really have a prove it game, like he can handle this sort of workload in a featured role. I just can't imagine he's here next year. I'm trying to think of he almost feels like, the Brian Thomas of the Bears, like he's just getting phased out from everything.
Yes. He's a Bill.
Yes.
He is a Bill.
Name anybody that's not on the Bills and they can be better than what the Bills have.
Yeah, the only other note that I have specifically is just how I feel like Colston Loveland's rookie season is kind of being swept under the rug, especially like the last 2 months. Like, this guy, I legitimately would already call him a possible top 10 tight end in the league. Like, Loveland, I think his blocking work is pretty underrated, but this dude is a legit wide receiver. He's a really, really good football player.
Yeah, Loveland has made like 1 or 2 catches every week for the last like 6 weeks or so, where it's just pure hands. Like, he does not let the ball. Caleb throws a dart. Like, this is not something that's lollipopped from this kid, and he's always able to keep his hands out in front of his chest and snag a football, whether it's within his radius of his frame or if it's outside of his frame. He's got a very wide ability to catch the football with his hands, and he had a few catches in this game too where I'm like, wow, like when Caleb needs it, you can trust that Loveland is going to be there and he's going to make that play for you. I think it was a third down and like 5 or so, and Loveland won on a slant inside and he made a nice catch underneath. There were a couple other big plays. I think it was the 4th down and 5 that Loveland was the go-to guy on the final drive too. So I agree. He's definitely he's not gotten the love he deserved, especially considering how much everyone talked about Warren to start the season. Loveland hasn't necessarily popped statistically in the latter half, but he certainly has lived up to most of the hype as far as what the pre-draft consensus was. So definitely deserves love there. The only other thought I had was, what do the Bears need in the draft, would you say? Number one thing.
I usually look to pass rush because that's usually pass rush or maybe left tackle. Because those are like the 2 things where even if what you have is okay, even if like you have Austin Booker and Montez Sweat, no one will ever be mad at you. Like, you look at the Rams, you look at any team like that. I think I go D tackle a lot too. D tackle's big.
Yes.
No one will ever be mad at you if you get another one. Like, no one's looking at the Rams and being like, you idiots, you drafted Jared Verse. You already have Byron Young. You already have Leonard Floyd. Like, no, we just add another Velociraptor to your collection and just keep attacking people. No one will ever be mad at you for trying to upgrade your offensive line. The left tackle spot really today was the only spot where I really felt like there was consistent trouble. Even pretty evident on that last play of the game where there was a man in Caleb's throwing window immediately because a man came in for free. So left tackle and pass rush, interior defensive line, probably my biggest ones.
Yeah, I thought after this game, interior D-line had to be number one to me. I think they could obviously use a pass rusher, but McCaffrey hasn't averaged. Like, McCaffrey has gotten like 400 touches this year, but he's only averaged more than 5 yards a carry 3 times this year. He's only averaged more than 6 yards per carry once. He averaged 6 yards per carry for a second time this week. And his impact, as much as it's helped, obviously McCaffrey is like the 49ers' best player, offensively speaking, but I think his impact was even larger than a statistical standpoint because we started to see, especially late in the game, how much gravity he had when he was leaving the backfield or when the ball was in his hands or even when he was just an option. And I just can't imagine the Bears can survive long-term if they're allowing one of the most inefficient rushing attacks to go for 6 yards a pop. So D-line, interior D-line was what I was thinking when I finished watching this one for Chicago.
Yeah, and I'll I mean, it could be for any team, but yeah, that's what's I think separating them right now from being a legit firepower contender.
Mm. Well, let's rewind back to earlier this week and let's talk about Detroit and Minnesota. Like, there's not much to
I
really
don't
say
wanna.
here. I don't. I just would be so sick if I was a Lions fan. Like, just
Yes,
so sick.
that's why I was having a good Christmas until Jahmyr Gibbs decided, oh yeah, I'm bad. I'm really bad at football. And like I know Jared Goff gets a lot of the flack for this game, but I don't think there's enough flack going on for how bad the Lions have been at running football outside of like the 5 Jahmyr Gibbs house calls he's had the last 2 months. Like there is nothing consistent about this run game at all, and that's kind of been their identity forever.
Yeah, we're truly asking a lot of Jared Goff to drop back and be the engine to this offense, and he just isn't multidimensional enough to be able to do it. And that's not his fault. I mean, we all know what Jared Goff is, but Detroit's been forced into asking him to be more than what he truly is capable of, and we're seeing the results. I mean, Jared Goff was responsible for 5 turnovers. They turned the ball over 6 times. He fumbled it 3 times, I think, threw 2 picks. Jahmyr Gibbs had a fumble. Like, this was the result of just horrendous offensive line play on the interior. Like, I don't know who the center is for Detroit, but he's got to be a double agent. It can't be that hard to just stay in front of the guy that's standing right in front of you for more than like, I don't know, a second and a half. It just can't be that difficult. And I felt like I found myself saying that about a lot of players this past week. Like it can't be as hard as they're making it seem.
I mean, they tried bringing Frank Ragnow back from the dead because of how bad their center play has been. I don't even know honestly who this guy is. Kingsley Aguican. I'm not super familiar with this guy somehow. But yeah, a lot of the fumbles that are credited to Jared Goff were just bad snaps too. Like at least one of them that off the top of my head, Goff wasn't even looking, and it was just snapped below his waist and went flying back 20 yards. Like it was bad. It was really, really bad. And then Sewell went down. Like the one thing that you had going for you was Jahmyr Gibbs runs off the right tackle, following Sewell. Then he went down, and they have nothing. And when you have nothing, when you have no run game, and everyone knows you're passing, there's no one I'd rather play less than a Brian Flores-led team.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just zero blitz after zero blitz after zero blitz. The Lions guys couldn't get open. Goff couldn't scramble. And they couldn't run the ball to neutralize that at all. So it was rough. It was really, really bad.
It was. And I think I've come to like Dan Campbell more than I have let on to in the past. Although I tend to find myself, especially after this week, thinking that no matter how bad the circumstances were from, an offensive line standpoint or all of the defensive injuries they've suffered, like this was a do or die game to keep your playoff hopes alive against quite possibly the worst starting quarterback we have seen since Tim Boyle. You have to win. I don't know how or what you got to do to make it work and to get the job done, but you cannot put up 10 points and lose to Max Prosper in a must-win game. It just is. It's one of those games that I feel like a Dan Campbell, a team that has his identity, that grit, that toughness, would be able to just find a way to win. And they've done the opposite of that all year long. They found ways to lose. And that goes back to the Steelers game a couple weeks ago too. So it's just been downhill ever since they blew that lead to the Niners in the NFC Championship. It's just been a slow burn, a slow decline since then.
Yeah, I just find it incredible that even with Max Brosmer's struggles, he didn't even turn the ball over one time. The Lions turned the ball over 6 times?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy way to lose a game. Because even though they could hardly complete a pass, they didn't even really attempt to pass very much.
No.
They ran Aaron Jones into the ground very inefficiently, but legit, like the one jet sweep to Jordan Addison and that one throw to Justin Jefferson to seal the game. Those ended the game. Like the Lions had no answers. They kept turning the ball over. All the Vikings had to do was just keep kicking their field goals, and they'd win. And all it took was 2 good offensive plays throughout the entire game to make something happen, and it did.
Yes. It was a very just depressing game for Detroit. A very depressing way to end a depressing season for the Lions. And it's like, where do you go from here, right? Like, you're definitely feeling the effects of losing Ben Johnson. Like, this is a game where, if the running game is struggling and, obviously you're going against Brian Flores and you're struggling to find answers. This was one of those games where having a play caller like Ben Johnson probably helps a lot. Like, he's going to find some way with some sort of play calling to kind of make up for this. But it really was just, hey, Goff, drop back and pass against these demon dogs that are hounding you. And that's not going to work. Like, Dan Campbell isn't the play caller that Ben Johnson was. And we're seeing the deterioration right before our eyes. But, yeah, I think my other final note for this game and all of the games on Christmas that Netflix hosted, which was terrible, I hated the mid-game interviews. Like, I'm watching Penei Sewell writhing in pain while Barry Sanders is like talking about his kid. Like, it felt eerily wrong that they just are having Emmitt Smith ramble on for like 2.5 drives as the Commanders try to scratch and claw their way down the field. Like, what are we doing? Like, let's get back to the game here. And the worst part about Emmitt Smith's interview was he's very clearly just like on Zoom or something, and it's completely bad connection. Like, it's lagging the entire time. Every word he's saying is cutting out. Like, whoever made the decision to do these Zoom interviews with these guys mid-game, mid-play needs to be fired. Netflix cannot do this shit again.
Netflix is struggling. I mean, Stranger Things, the last part of this last season was rough. That was directly after the Christmas games. They were just on a bad run. I mean, every time they've tried doing like combat sports, it's always been really ugly too. I think they should just stick to what they're good at. Just shut up and dribble. just do what you do. Don't do anything else.
That's so real. It's like stay out of the live entertainment space. Just focus on your fictional and documentary type stuff.
Yeah, make Stranger Things good again.
Yeah, I heard that didn't go well. I don't watch that
really.
show, so I don't know.
Good for you.
Yeah. Well, I can't say it went any better for Justin Herbert against the Texans, though, because if there was one game in Justin Herbert's entire career that I would point to and use as the prime representation of what he's dealt with throughout his 6 years now playing quarterback, this would be it. Like, no help. Herbert was on prime display here.
I wonder how many years in a row it's you're gonna be able to say it's not his fault, but it's true. Like, it's not. Obviously, his receivers were stupid. His running game couldn't get going. His offensive line is so bad. Thankfully, they have an elite defense, but still, like, the 2 plays that they gave up in this game were the deciding factor, and they were both early. Like, they were normally 2 big plays that like a team could come back from. Like, the Texans offense stalled completely after that. I mean, they threw 2 interceptions right after that. They didn't really get any other big plays after that. But the Chargers couldn't get anything because Oronde Gadsden had like the worst tight end performance I've ever seen in my life. And the offensive line was just as bad as that. Marion Hampton did nothing. It was rough. It was really, really rough.
Oronde Gadsden's PFF grade for this game was a 52.6.
That's
honestly
bullshit.
That's a lot better than it should have been because he single-handedly was responsible for like 4 negative plays that I could think of off the top of my head.
The blocking, the hands. Like I thought this guy had good hands, and like he dropped that one beautiful play that Herbert had where he sifted through the pressure and he threw a seed, and it wasn't even like a real drop. It's like he like decided later to drop it.
Yes.
And then there was the interception that went like right through his hands. That was only slightly high and kind of fast, and people are like, "That's Herbert's fault. He shouldn't have thrown it so hard." Like we're professionals here, and we're talking about how a quarterback shouldn't have thrown it so hard. It wasn't the check down; it was 15 yards downfield. It was stupid.
It was. I mean, oh my God! Like
If
Bobby Hart, 36 total snaps. He had a 37.3 offensive grade.
Good Lord.
That's fitting. 31.1 pass block grade. Mekhi Becton had 57 snaps. He had a even worse grade than Bobby Hart.
Wow.
I mean, it just was that bad. Although this is something I texted you at like 2 a.m. the other night, but I never realized how much Chargers fans hate Bradley Bozeman. Bradley Bozeman is the most hated Charger by a comfortable margin, and I don't even know why. Like, he's probably their best offensive lineman, which isn't saying much. That's a very low bar, but oh my God. Like, I had someone comment on my TikTok today that had the name, like, I hate Bradley Bozeman as his name with his profile picture. And then he just commented, I hate Bradley Bozeman. Like, he dedicated his whole TikTok page to that. Like, I
Most
never
people don't
realized it.
Yeah. Most people don't even know who their center is. Like,
right.
and he's the most irrelevant center in the game. Like, I know he's bad. He's not a good lineman. But like you said, like they have a revolving door of linemen out there. And that's the one that they're pissed at. Like, I would be most mad at Greg Roman, at whoever the hell's in charge of their strength and conditioning, keeping them alive. Maybe the guy that's allowing all of his linemen to get hurt all the time. That might be the problem. That might be a coaching problem. I don't know what a problem it is. But the Eagles have had like one lineman injury in the last like 10 years that I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
And the Chargers have had no years without 5 major lineman injuries. So that's Herbert's fault.
I think the silver lining in all of this is, well, not the silver lining, the icing on the cake, if you will, is that the most accurate kicker in football, and Dicker the kicker, also just could not do his job properly. He had 2 missed kicks that ultimately directly lost them the game. The extra point miss was huge after Justin Herbert and friends finally willed their way into the end zone, which then led to the final drive where, unfortunately, Herbert couldn't score a touchdown. They probably could have kicked a field goal, if I remember correctly, but that wasn't an option anymore. So, or no, wait, what was it? The field goal that he missed, was that was earlier in the game, right?
Believe, but like it wasn't even him. Every kicker sucks. Brandon Aubrey sucks apparently now.
Yeah,
he's missing field goals. Freaking Boswell was shanking him today. That was a brutal performance by kickers this week. Brutal.
Yeah, and Michael Badgley was signed to the Bills to get his one kick blocked today.
Yeah,
excellent. Well, the other thought I had from this Chargers-Texans game is, like, what do we even think of C.J. Stroud anymore? Like, what do we do with this anatomy of a quarterback? Like, what is this thing that we have?
I don't know. Like, he's a big play guy, but like I don't know. Like, I feel like he's so consistently inconsistent that like I have no idea what he is, because he looks the exact same as he did as a rookie. But at the same time, he's almost kind of regressed. But then I say that and he pops off the next week. So like, he's a guy where like talent wise, I want to say he's like a top 10 talent kind of guy, but he's still not really showing that despite having some pretty good weapons around him.
It's odd. Like, he almost fits that like 2025 Trevor Lawrence mold of like, what is going on here? Even like pre second half of 2025 Trevor Lawrence, like early this season, Trevor was very reminiscent of what I feel like we're seeing from Stroud. It's just like any given play can be such such a big one, but then he goes and throws like the worst interception of all time. And for a guy like Stroud, I've always thought of him to be very respectful of the football, but he's just been the complete opposite of it. I feel like this year specifically, I'm not sure where he is in terms of interceptions amongst other quarterbacks, but I feel like his decision making has been such a negative more often than not that it's been killer for them.
Yeah, I think we should put in Davis Mills.
I mean, maybe.
They were so good with Davis Mills. He turned the team around.
He did. He really did. That's not even a joke.
He did. No, he actually. I was joking when I said we should start him, but the product was no different. It was really... they were scoring the same amount of points. Like, I don't know. Stroud, as he is right now, does not feel like a Super Bowl quarterback to me. But I don't know. We just saw Jalen Hurts win. So I don't know what a Super Bowl quarterback is anymore.
Right. And they have the construction of a team that could allow Stroud to continue to get away with this, certainly. Although it just feels like at some point down the road, they're going to have to get elevation from that position. And I just am not convinced we're going to see it. I guess at least with, I guess I can't say that, because I would say most of the stock that I have in CJ Stroud comes from his playoff performances, almost like Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
So I can't say I haven't seen him perform when the lights are brightest. So we'll see, I guess, when that time comes, if all of a sudden we see, end of season 2024 Stroud, or if we see whatever he's been for the better part of this season.
Yeah, that is fair. Yeah, I mean, just without their run game and with the inconsistency of their passing offense, I don't know. The defense is good enough for me to fully pin them as Super Bowl winners and just 17-10 win their way through the playoffs. It's possible, but there's no trust where if the defense gives up 21 that they're going to go out and score 24. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think he's impressive, but I don't trust him.
Right. Agreed. The good thing for them, though, is there really isn't a quarterback that I would say could really just break down that defense that they'll see in the AFC postseason. Like, they've taken care of Josh Allen already once this year. So if they see him, then, they have proof to the pudding. Other than that, we'll have Trevor Lawrence, we'll have Bo Nix, we'll have, maybe Tyler Huntley. Who knows what comes of that with the Ravens, or if it's Rodgers and the Steelers. They will most likely have a postseason path that their defense could just kind of take them through, really. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. I think that will be something to watch. I don't want anything to do with them as a Bills fan. I'll say that much.
This was the worst year for the Bengals to have Joe Burrow get hurt.
Yeah.
I would feel a lot better about facing them than how I've been facing the Chiefs every single season.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, even if Kansas City was squeaking in at the way they were playing, I think Mahomes himself could take that defense and beat them by himself. Same thing what we saw Lamar and the Ravens kind of really ruin that defense last year on Christmas. Those are the kinds of levels of players it takes to overcome that level of defense, but there's just not really any of those.
If it's not Josh, it's nobody.
Right. Exactly.
Sadly.
Well, speaking of Tyler Huntley, Lamar Jackson, and the Ravens, I barely watched it because I had family events going on, but I was keeping track. The Ravens and Packers, and Malik Willis will be starting somewhere next year. My first question to you is where?
So it has to be one of the teams that is too good to draft one in the top two. So let's see who the NFL draft order is right now. I think you're looking at Vegas, they'll draft theirs. I think the Jets will probably draft theirs. I don't know. I think it would be fun to take him to somewhere like a Cleveland where he gets to kind of compete for a role with someone like Shadur. I I think Kansas City would be really cool if Mahomes is out for the year. You can kind of go get a placeholder. Maybe if you can get him to wild card-esque, get Mahomes back for the playoffs potentially, like that would be cool. Or somewhere like Miami. I think would Miami or Indianapolis if Daniel Jones doesn't re-sign with them, or Minnesota if they are like, we can't do this again. We can't do JJ McCarthy again. Those would probably be my spots. I think Minnesota would be fun because they're creative enough, but I mean, I wouldn't even be mad if Atlanta did it.
What if the Packers did it?
What
Now
if the
we're
Packers
talking.
did it? I've heard so much, and I haven't, like, people always all the time talk about like when the backup comes in and they like kind of how I do with Davis Mills, like jokingly kind of. I have never seen it so popular and so well accepted. Where they're like, yeah, Love's good, but like stay on the bench, dude. We're actually way better without you. I've never seen it like this before.
Well, it just is one of those things where every time Willis has played, it's looked like a functional product. And it's not even like a Kyler Murray versus Jacoby Brissett case where, Kyler and the offense looked dreadful and they sucked. But then Jacoby came in and it looked prettier. It looked better. It was more fun, but it still didn't equate to victories. It still didn't equate to them like necessarily doing more. But with the Packers, obviously they didn't win this game because Derrick Henry appeared, but Willis has played so good that it almost makes you think that this offense is curated for his skill set just way more than it is for Love's. And I mean, the crazy part is he threw for 288 and a touchdown on just 21 pass attempts. Like, when do we really ever see Jordan Love have a game that is better than that stat line? It's usually his best games are those low volume, higher-ish passing yardage performances where he throws for a touchdown or two, and it's just pure efficiency, right? It's not like a 45 to 50-yard attempt game where he throws for 405. Like, that's not what really Jordan Love's best games have been in Green Bay. It's been what Malik Willis did. It's just with Malik, you get that added element of that rushing attack. And in fact, in this game, he was their only semblance of anything. Like, I don't know why Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson even put on shoulder pads. Like, that was weird.
Like, Malik Willis has never been given a proper chance. Like, he has not thrown an interception since his rookie season in 2022. Like, it's not like he's going out here, in limited time and having a good game here and a bad game here and a good game here and 5 turnovers this game. It's like generally looks just like that. Like, efficient. The run game is immediately better. And the passing game didn't really skip a beat. Like, for what Jordan Love might bring and the throws that he can make. I mean, Malik Willis does not have a weak arm by any means at all. Like, he has a pretty strong arm to him. So I'm not going to say he should be the starter, but I'm not going to argue it.
Yeah.
Like, they are moving the football.
I won't. Yeah, of course, I'm not going to campaign for it, but it does make you think. Like, just think of the players they have centralized this offense around. It's been Tucker Kraft and it's been Josh Jacobs. Like, it's been these like more physical presences that they've focused on getting the ball to. And in some way, I don't even know how to explain it, but Malik Willis fits that mold of an offense more than Love does. And I think you're better off like finding. I just don't think this offense is for Jordan Love, I guess, is basically where I'm going with it. Despite all of the receivers that they have and as efficient as he's been all year, it still is like a physical ground and pound team at heart that really I think will benefit more from a quarterback that is dangerous with his legs than not. So
I'm in. I just want to see it extended into like the playoffs or something. I just really want to see how far he can take.
That would be fun. Like okay, I'm not gonna say I wish Jordan Love was out or hurt
No.
more, but this would be the most fun experiment going into the postseason if it was Malik Willis strictly.
Yeah. Also, by the way, Derrick Henry had 216 yards and 4 touchdowns.
yeah, he did.
On top of the Ravens won 41-24. So like it is really interesting with that whole thing. Not to take away from Derrick Henry having like his best game in years, and the Ravens possibly winning the division next week.
Yeah.
Why is Malik Willis the headline of this game? Derrick Henry just had his best game like damn near ever, and the Ravens, against all odds, are playing in a game next week to win the division and possibly knock the Steelers out of the playoffs and enter themselves.
Yeah, I think the only reason why Malik Willis is kind of the headliner here is because a lot of people don't like Jordan Love. So it just drives.
I don't think I do either. So
yeah, no, me either. So I'm right on board with it. That's why I started with that. But
I do, but God, EPA. I hate EPA.
EPA badge is the funniest thing out there.
I've had that in my camera roll for like a year now, waiting for anyone to talk about Jordan Love. Just EPA. So obnoxious.
I wonder what Malik Willis's EPA was in this game. Let's see.
Probably worse because for some reason they only give Jordan Love good EPA grades.
Let's see. I'll look that up. But I wanted to ask.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say he only had 4 incompletions. Not 4 incompletions. He only had 3 incompletions, and he ran for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns, with their next leading rusher having 16 rushing yards. But yeah, EPA low.
I wonder if I can find it real quick. I don't know, man. I know I've caught flack for this, and I know you're probably sick of hearing me say it, but when are we going to start having Derrick Henry GOAT running back conversations? Like,
you said GOAT as in the best?
Yes.
No.
Come on. Like,
if you line up and you say Barry Sanders versus Derrick Henry, that would be obnoxious. There's no way.
Sorry, like, this is a unicorn of a football player. If you were to go into a lab and build your ideal running back, this is it. Like, and
Barry.
We're not even talking about like peak. We're talking about like longevity and availability. Like, this is everything you could ever ask for. He has beaten the shelf life allegations. He has forever been efficient through contact. He has been a monster at getting into the end zone. Like, he's in top 10 rushing touchdowns categories in history now. Like, he had 4 in this game that pushes him to the 9th spot in all-time rushing touchdowns. Like, what's it going to take if he hasn't already put himself there?
It's just, to me, it's always been the versatility is a big one. The versatility is always going to be a big bite on him, because even like the Ravens know it. That's why every single time they're down in games, he has to leave, because he offers nothing on third downs. They're like if it's a close game, they're losing, Rasheen Ali will outsnap him. It's not a joke. It will happen.
No, yeah.
Like I feel like, I don't know, guys like Barry Sanders. I mean, he was on such dog shit teams that whatever. Name the quarterback of the Lions in 1990. Who knows? John Kitna was in there somewhere. Like, it was those kind of guys. But like, I don't know. I've never seen a running back carry a team more in my life than someone like Barry, ever. Even in his second to last year, 16 games, he ran for over 2,000 yards. Like, his worst season that he played 15 or more games was 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns. Worst season by far. With the worst offensive line curated on the planet for a decade and some change. Not even a decade.
All right, fine.
No.
If we're gonna exclude him from the literal GOAT argument, then I'm gonna bring it back to my original debate, which was better than Adrian Peterson.
I think that's a fair debate.
at this point, what did Adrian Peterson do in his career that you could definitively say was more impressive or better than Derrick Henry? There isn't anything he's done that Henry hasn't.
No, I think with AP it was the individual peaks. It was not like the total body of work. It was just like in his prime with the quarterbacks that he played with. Like, didn't they play a playoff game with Joe Webb at quarterback? Like,
It was
or like
someone of that caliber. Yes.
yeah, like it was Christian Ponder, and
Yes.
he was dragging them to the playoffs. Like I know he did it with Tannehill. Tannehill was like decent though. He was a solid quarterback for some time. He was top 15 at one point.
Yeah, come on. But that's because of Henry. That was because of the offense that was built on Henry's back.
He was decent. Christian Ponder was legitimately like a terrorist.
But still, like we if we want to talk about peak, like like Derrick Henry did that similarly. He was on the year he got hurt. I think with that, was it the toe injury or something? He missed like
I don't even remember
the better half of like 2020, was it? Or was it 2021? He was on pace for like 400 rush attempts in that season. And he would have had comfortably over 2,000 yards again. He's had over 2,000 twice now. He's up to what, 1,400 now this year. Like, there's not a single accolade that he wouldn't have gotten in AP's time if he put up these numbers. It's just a different era. Like the whole Adrian Peterson has an MVP and Henry doesn't. Like Henry would have 3 right now if he played in the early 2000s. Like that's how good he has been. It just is a different period of time, and I think that's why people are overlooking it and not appreciating this greatness for what it is right now. We will look back and say, "Oh my God, this was the greatest fucking thing ever," and no one gave a fuck. Like it really is.
I think it's Barry. There's Emmett and Jim Brown. I think 4 is LT. I think LT is the most underappreciated running back of my lifetime somehow. I mean, not only was he an elite receiver, he was throwing touchdown passes like how Derrick Henry has done.
Henry,
yeah, but LT was a quarterback. He was slinging it. He was doing pop passes. He was throwing it. I've seen him throw wheel routes, but like, I don't know. LT's up there, and then it's up for grabs. I think Emmitt Smith's the most overrated running back ever.
Yes.
You got Falk. Falk is the complete opposite of Derrick Henry. You can't even compare them. And then I think AP is the most comparable because it's just like 2 athletic freaks that like don't do anything outside of just being athletic freaks. But I think that's a good level of where he's at. I think that like 5 to 7 range seems fair.
I just if you had to build an offense with a starting 11 to win a Super Bowl, I don't know if there's a more ideal running back that you would want to build your team around than Henry. Like he is purely every single coach's wet dream as a running back. So like the versatility thing is cool. I appreciate it, but there is no singular player that has that holds more gravity on a football field than Derrick Henry. He's the ultimate closer. He's the best closing pitcher to ever play the sport.
Yes, but only if you're winning. Or
Not
tied.
even though.
Or
yeah.
close.
Oh, man, I don't know.
Nah.
I don't know.
LT and Barry, I will argue for them to be the best forever. Like those are like the most impressive running backs I've ever seen in my life. But Derrick Henry deserves his flowers. Like I think I have him higher on my list than most people do in all-time conversations. Like most people don't even have him top 10.
Yeah,
most people will be like Marcus Allen for sure, man. Marcus Allen's got it. Like I think Eric Dickerson's a very good comp in terms of how they dominated. Like no receiving work, a couple like 1,900 yard game like seasons kind of carried them to their peak. But I don't know. I think Eric Dickerson and AP are where he's at.
I think the thing for me too that gets lost, I don't think it holds enough weight in people's minds is just how long Henry has been playing at this level. Like I think people are very focused on peaks for running backs because usually it doesn't last for that long. Like running backs can play a long time, but it's usually not always around the same level of performance. And for Henry, it has been the entire time. Like the only time he really didn't put up the numbers we're used to him putting up is the year he got hurt, and it was 2021, where he had 219 rush attempts through 8 weeks. That is insane. That is a full season's worth of work in 8 fucking games.
Yeah, that's why he got hurt.
Yeah,
that's really insane.
Is. It really
that's
is.
insane to do to your running back. And like if you look at Derrick Henry's career outside of this year, actually, every single time that he has a great year, he follows it up with a not that great year. Because they pound him like 378 carries. That's insane. Like he goes from 1900 down to 11, like 15 to 930 yards. Like, and half part of that's missing games, part of that's like efficiency because he's just being pounded and pounded. But yeah, that's that. Yeah, he's definitely the king. If I want to get volume, he's the guy.
It's I don't know. I think
volume merchant.
He's going to be the ultimate. Like we didn't appreciate him enough player when he's done. By far.
I don't know. I think he's very appreciated.
No, he's not. Like this guy's like 240.
They call him King.
This guy's 240 running 23 miles an hour at 31 years old. Like what the fuck? Like
I'm gonna be campaigning and be like, he was just Bo Jackson. He wasn't that good. He's overrated.
But people wouldn't even say he's the best he was ever the best running back in a singular season. Like that's how much I feel like he doesn't get credit. Like people like I get Saquon was unbelievable last year, but Henry was like damn near just as good. And he would have easily been offensive player of the year that season if Saquon didn't eclipse 2,000 yards. Like if Saquon doesn't go over 2,000, it probably goes to Henry because he had 1,900 himself with 16 touchdowns. Like the whole buzz about the 2,000-yard season was very big in the play of getting Saquon that award.
Fuck them both. It should have been Jamar, first of all.
Yeah,
he should have had it.
I agree.
He should have had it.
Talk about an underappreciated season. Holy fuck. Like, I love Saquon. He did great, but fuck, man.
Jamar's having the quietest 1,300-yard, 9-touchdown season or 7-touchdown season I've ever heard in my life.
Yep.
1,300 yards, and people are like, dude, he's not been that good this year. Okay. Sorry. Played half the year with Joe Flacco and Jake Browning, and he's 1,300 yards, and he's bad.
Well, J.J. McCarthy and Max Brosmer are going to set Justin Jefferson back, like, indefinitely. Yeah. Like, I feel bad for him.
No. QB proof. His fault.
QB proof. Yeah, you know what? Fuck that shit. I'm so glad that the truth is coming to light. Pro Jamar, we've been here.
Yes, he is QB proof. He at least kind of did it with Jake Browning, as bad as he was. Jake Browning is not better than J.J. McCarthy, by the way. He's not.
People might challenge you on that. Might
do it. Pull up the tape.
Is J.J. McCarthy better than Jake Browning? That is a worthy conversation, I think.
No, he's not.
Well, speaking of the Ravens potentially making the fucking playoffs, it's because of the Steelers losing to the Browns and because DK Metcalf punched a fan and they couldn't challenge anybody on the boundary. So I fully expected this game to be a mud fight. It was terrible from the start. It was terrible to the very end. My only question that I was confused about in this game was why from 7 yards out to win the game, the play calling for 3 straight plays was Aaron Rodgers dropping back and asking Marquez Valdez-Scantling to win one-on-one against Denzel Ward. That was the read 3 times in a row. Arthur has been fantastic at situational play calling. He has done a great job at making it work with the clown show that is in Pittsburgh. But then when the game is on the line to seal your playoff spot, you're targeting the guy that's been on your team for 4 weeks, I think, against one of the best corners in the conference. Like, maybe that was just Rodgers. I don't know. But it just was such bad decision-making when it was all out there for the taking.
That was bad. That was really, really bad. Like, I mean, their receivers suck. I know. Like, they don't have a lot of great options, but they weren't even going through progressions. It was just like out. I know they're scared of Myles Garrett behind him in their blind spot, but like they didn't even give it a beat. It was just like ball, snap, out. MVS on Denzel Ward, and it almost got picked off.
Yeah.
Like the second or third throw was almost picked off. Like they're lucky. And then they got like 3 more chances and burned them all. And like that was partially one of my takes of why their offense sucks so bad, was because they would have 2 eligible receivers helping the left tackle block Myles Garrett the entire game. They don't have one-on-one winners. If they were going to gain yardage, they needed strengthen numbers. They needed like 4 or 5 guys running routes. Hopefully Aaron Rodgers, the 41-year-old, can find one of them using his age and wisdom, as opposed to having the running back and the tight end not just chip, they're blocking. They were staying in the mud to help the left tackle. Like they're triple teaming him legitimately. And they would have like 2 eligible receivers running routes, and it's MVS and like Roman Wilson or something. And they're blanketed, of course. And then they got nothing. Like the only offense they had was Pat Freiermuth sneaking out and somehow getting open. That's it. So that pissed me off. I was like, you guys tried so hard not to let Myles get the record that you just scored 6 points in a must-win game. You did it. Fine. You didn't get the sack record on you. You lost the game because your offense scored 6 points. Outstanding.
Well, he was the guy, Pat Freiermuth was the guy that got them down the field to potentially win it. And he is, even when DK is on, playing, he's arguably their best pass catcher. I mean, I don't know why this guy isn't focused on more by Arthur Smith. Like when you're down 7 yards out, like Freiermuth should be the guy that you're trying to manufacture work for in that gritty area. The big frame, you have such small, dinky, fragile receivers, skinny receivers, MVS, Scotty Miller, Roman Wilson, Calvin Austin. Like you have no size. Darnell Washington broke his fucking arm halfway through the first quarter. DK's out. Like Freiermuth is the closest thing you have to gaining any space with your frame. And the fact that he just is an afterthought on this offense, especially in that area at that point in the game after he got you down the field, it's very odd. It's like Lad McConkey-esque. Like, why not just like call a player or two that gets him the football? Like, will it kill you? Will it hurt?
There's overthinking. They overthought the hell out of it. Well, they underthought. They were like, yeah, like just MVS. He's bound to catch one of these 4 ball fades that we throw to him. No, you did not. They're so stupid. Well, I hope they don't make the playoffs now, honestly. They don't deserve it now. They have gone through no adversity. The Ravens lost Lamar. They've had a lot of defensive injuries. They're scrapping their way back. And they have potential to win a playoff game. Derrick Henry and Lamar can make shit happen even when their team isn't good. I just don't see the Steelers beating a playoff team. They get waxed in the wild card every year. Last year by the Ravens, who they usually beat. But I am worried the Steelers have the Ravens number in the regular season every year. So I do feel good about the Steelers' odds of winning.
I hope, man. Like, it's easy for a Bengals fan that's not going to be in the playoffs to say, yeah, let the Ravens in. Just let them in.
Yeah.
So then my Bills are going to have to trot their ass over to Baltimore, where Lamar's had 2 weeks of fucking rest off of his fucking bruised back. And Derrick Henry's, probably 7 touchdowns in 2 games that he'll have going into it. And I'm like, well, fuck this, because Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers just shit themselves in the last 2 weeks of the season. Like,
yeah,
it maybe though, the silver lining in all of this will be, if they do miss this will be, I'm going to call it now, this will be Mike Tomlin's last year if they miss the playoffs. They had it in the palm of their hand, a playoff spot. It was theirs to lose, and they fumble it away with all of the talent, all of the money they spent. It has to be. It would have to be. How do you not fire him? How?
I have no idea.
Losing to 2 divisional rivals in the final 2 weeks to lose the playoff spot that you've had all season long. No fucking way he's not fired.
I still think they win.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm almost confident they win, which is
I
insane. But they beat them every time. I don't get how they do it.
Their two most important players are out, so I'm scared.
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
Oh man. Well, I mean, there's not much from a Browns perspective. Like Shadur is fun, but he just the negative plays are just too much to bear. That was really
they're
all
ghastly.
Yeah,
They're ghastly. Like it's not like he like missed the throw. Kind of like it wasn't like he just missed. Like I would prefer that he didn't see the robber come down and take his ball. I'd prefer that, but he's like rolling out. I mean, he understands the guy's covered. And he just throws it up. And it has the worst interception of the season I've seen.
Yeah, it's been a fun experiment. I think, with severely focused development by the best QB coach that's ever lived, could probably make him into a pretty confident game manager, but I don't know if he's ever going to get that sort of light of day. So, especially after this, like it's not been that bad. His situation isn't that bad to be making the mistakes he does and to be playing the football he has been. So,
no, I agree.
They don't have their franchise guy there, which I think they probably knew before the season.
I think they did too. I think that's why it took an injury to get Dylan Gabriel off the football field.
Yeah, seriously. Well, Jags Colts, I have a fascinating question for you.
All right.
How many quarterbacks would Phillip Rivers be better than in the NFL right now if he had an arm?
If he had an arm?
Yes.
I mean, that's like whose arm?
Just anything but what he's got. Just a somewhat stronger arm.
Like Burrow's arm?
Like Purdy's arm.
Almost all, honestly.
Yeah, right.
I mean, the guy's like a borderline Hall of Famer, and he always had like a decent arm. But like, I mean, I don't think he's any dumber than he's ever been. So like, I'm taking him over Purdy probably. If we're talking like Phillip Rivers with a decent arm, he's been playing okay. Like he's better than Tua. He's better than anything Cleveland's trotting out there. He's better than probably anything Pittsburgh has to offer currently. He's probably better than whatever himself. He's better than whatever the Falcons are doing. He's probably better than Brissett, better than Bryce Young, better than Geno Smith, better than the JJ McCarthy, better than Justin Fields. Like, yeah, he's better than a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
With an arm.
Yes. That's
without an arm, I am still taking him over Fields. I am taking him over whatever the Vikings are doing. He has been impressive, honestly.
He has been, I would say he's been better, yeah, for sure, than like Kirk Cousins right now. He's definitely on the downswing of his career, but he's been playing football. He's been training for this actively, and it's been bad. But Phillip Rivers has made it work. Like he has struck fear into opposing defenses for the 3 starts he's played. Like it has not been easy pickings for opposing units. So it's pretty crazy. Like at 44 years old, you got to give him credit. Like I think at the end of the day, no one expected them to suddenly like make the playoffs because of it, but it went a lot better than anyone could have thought, and it seems like he accomplished his goal, like his personal goal of just fucking saying fuck it, let's do it and see what happens.
Yeah, he did it, and he looks impressive. Like compared to what he was supposed to be, I'm impressed.
Mm-hmm. Best storyline of the season, I would say.
Truly. Yes. Like he has been awesome.
Well, so is Trevor Lawrence. And even though the score didn't indicate that they killed him, and even though they only scored 23 points, Lawrence made a few throws in this game that were big time. And the one specifically that sticks out to me was, I think it was on their final drive, and the last drive that I think they ended up running the clock out on, right? And they kicked a field goal. It was like 3rd and 11 following a penalty, and they needed a first down to get back in a field goal range and to keep running the clock. And he threw to Jacoby Myers under pressure along the sideline. It was just one of those, like, you got to have it moments. you got to have the throw perfect. And Trevor, who has been hit or miss in those situations, historically speaking, these past couple weeks has been complete nails. So he has been everything that we've expected him to be for 5 years now within the last 4 weeks or so.
He has been. I was ready to give up on him. I have been his biggest defender for years. And this year, like, there was a stretch of games that was his worst stretch of football I've ever seen him play. And I was like, I'm done. He's regressing. He's an idiot. He's stupid. He's a moron. He's a nincompoop. I was over him. But now, finally, for some reason, he's smarter. Like, he had an interception today. That was his first interception in weeks to Jermaine Pratt. Outside of that, I think he's playing harder too. Like, the rushing ability is the best we've seen him have. I mean, he has 9 touchdowns on the ground right now. That's really impressive. Like, that usually, when Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen aren't playing, would lead the league of all quarterbacks. So really, really cool to see him running the ball. That's been a huge asset to them, especially in the red zone. I mean, he had 2 non-QB sneak rushing touchdowns this game, both draws or powers. Like, it's really cool.
It is. And I wouldn't say as a pure passer, he is better than like a Jared Goff, specifically speaking. But one of the points I've made about Goff is, like, when you're unable to move, period, it just really hampers the offense as a whole. It hampers the play calling. It really restricts what you're able to do when you're dealing with things like a bad offensive line. But the Jaguars' offensive line has been very hit or miss this year. And Trevor Lawrence's ability with his legs has neutralized a lot of those problems. And Liam Cohen has leaned into it. Like you said, he had 2 rushing touchdowns on QB-designed runs that were not sneaks. He's really saying, you know what? If he takes a couple hits, so be it. But this is where he's at his best. And it's almost like how I feel about Josh Allen sometimes. When you really want to get Josh Allen feeling confident, when you want him to get back in rhythm, back on track, you let him just keep the ball and run. And it's been working really for Lawrence these past few weeks. It's been the biggest difference in play that I can see definitively, is like the QB designed work has to have taken an uptick. I don't know specifically, but it feels like it.
I think so too. Yeah, and I mean, we've seen that with Trevor Lawrence forever. I mean, we saw it at Clemson when he had that huge comeback against Ohio State. It was using his legs. He's always been a better athlete than people have really let him be. So to be 6'6", 225, and like really athletic and not take advantage of it, especially now when this is probably one of your best chances to make the Super Bowl you've ever had, you do it. You put his body on the line and you run him into the ground. From this point forward, if you can get the number 1 seed, get a home field advantage and a bye, yes, like, you were going to put that guy on the line and you are going to keep doing what you've been doing.
Absolutely. And they are arguably the best team in the conference right now. I think you could definitely make that case. The team that you can't make that case for is the Carolina Panthers, who were gifted a golden opportunity to win the NFC South after the Bucs lost to Quinn Ewers. Todd Bowles needs to go. I'm good if Baker goes. I'm good if Mike Evans goes. I'm good if they literally cleaned out the entire organization and personnel and they started from scratch. The Panthers had a golden opportunity. And not to say that they weren't underdogs, not to say I expected them to beat Seattle, but my God, the defense gave them as good of a chance as they could possibly ask for. And Bryce Young served a stinker on a plate. Perfect Bryce Young representation. This is what he is, folks. I hate that people fall for it every time he has a good game. It's like, oh, Bryce Young is good. Look. Oh, but wait, he's not.
It would be one thing if this was just like your regular run-of-the-mill, not amazing game. This was 54 yards, 0 passing touchdowns, and an interception. And in the locker room, they were like, what the fuck happened? And Tet McMillan was like, they ran more man coverage than we thought they would. If that's what it takes to kill your quarterback, is just not giving him the exact coverage he thought he would be seeing on tape, that's a problem. Like, that might be why they beat the Falcons every time, because they have a ton of tape and they know how to beat them. He's a smart guy. Like, I don't doubt that. It's just like the ability to translate it on the football field. I think his weapons are overrated, and that's part of the problem. And I've been saying that forever. I mean, for Tet McMillan to have his first catch late in the fourth quarter on 4th and 17, and he catches a drag route for a gain of 5 and gets tackled by the first defender, that's a problem. That's a really big problem to me. But yeah, if this team scrapes their way into the wild card with a win over Tampa next week, I'll be disgusted.
Yes, I also will be disgusted. Like, as much as I think Tampa is playing like a bottom 3 team. They remind me of the 2021 Eagles, where they have been just trending downhill for the better part of the second half of the season, and they limp into the playoffs just to get killed, like the Eagles did to the Bucs. Funny enough, that's what this feels like is lining up for Tampa. But the Panthers are equally as depressing. And once again, I mean, we've talked about it week in and week out. When the running game is not working, when the focal point of the offense isn't Rico Dowdle or Chuba Hubbard or I guess whoever, other than those two on the ground, it could be, it's nothing. Like, Bryce Young needs the running game to survive. He cannot just elevate an offense by himself. And yeah, I mean, I didn't quite realize it was 54 yards and a pick bad, but that is like,
yeah,
he had a QBR of 18.
Yeah.
Like,
it was bad. It was legit. Very, very, very bad.
And the crazy part is, I don't even think he made the worst play of this game. The worst play of this game was when the Seahawks were ready to punt to the Panthers. After it was like 3rd and 18, they threw a dump off to JSN, and then fucking JC Horn grabs his face masks and yanks him, and it's an automatic first down. Like, that was really a huge turning point in this game, and I think it overshadowed how bad Bryce. But man, you just cannot do that. Was it this drive where he threw the face? I mean, it's just like, yeah, it was. They ended up kicking a field goal that put them up by 2 possessions late in the fourth quarter. That it fucked them. It really did.
It did. That's just, yeah. They don't look like a wild card team at all. The Bucs don't either, but they've had their issues. It's pretty easy to point fingers at the coaching, who has been their problem for years. It's pretty easy to point fingers at the fact that Baker Mayfield is hurt and he can't carry them to wins anymore. And Bucky Irving stunk, and their run game stunk. But with the Panthers, it's like they're supposed to be winning games by their defense, which is pretty much only league average. Their offense is very well below league average. Like, I don't understand how they've gotten their wins so far, but I mean, good for them, impressive for them. But yeah, I wouldn't even want to make the playoffs right now, like, just to get obliterated on the big screen.
Yep, that is what's going to happen. They are going to get obliterated by whoever they see in the wild card if they make it that far. And I could see the Seahawks having a pretty similar humiliating exit too, if this is the brand of football they continue to roll out there. I feel like we haven't seen as efficient as a Seattle team as we saw in the earlier part of the season very much lately. Like, it's just been a struggle bus, other than like the comeback they had against the Rams late, which, you know, I would more so say is a one-off than anything else. Like, it's just been tough sledding for a team that can't run the ball.
Yeah.
And they did today, ironically. But
yeah, I'm kind of shocked they don't use Shaheed more.
He got hurt today, I think.
He did today, but like, I mean, just like the last couple weeks, I feel like he's been great as a punt returner and maybe a play here or there. But like, I feel like they really are misutilizing him still. Like, he should be getting, by far to me, the second most looks on that offense. And he's kind of just a gadget for them, which is good. I mean, he damn near won them the Rams game, but you'd like to see a little bit more, especially with, like, I mean, Sharp was great today, but their run game usually kind of stinks too, despite their best efforts and how hard they try. So I mean, to get that unlocked would be pretty big. Because right now it's legitimately JSN or nothing. Because Cooper Kupp is a shell. He had a drop in the end zone that I thought he really should have caught. And then it's like AJ Barner. That's like our next best guy. Torrey Horton's been hurt. It's AJ Barner's our next best guy. Like, I really want to see a little bit more Shaheed in this offense for sure.
Agreed. It is odd because Shaheed has spent most of the early part of his career like battling the gadget / deep ball niche allegations, and he finally started to break out in terms of his route tree, and when he was in New Orleans really running a lot more. But all of a sudden it seems like he's back at square one with a coordinator that he is very familiar with, which is the weirdest part of it all. Is like him and Clint Kubiak have a lot of history. So why are we kind of putting him back in that gadgety role again? It is very bizarre.
Yeah, I got no idea, but especially with, just trading capital for him. Maybe the best is still to come. I mean, they're 13 and what? They have 13 wins. Like, I'm not super worried about the product they're putting out right now because it is winning, and they did win by multiple scores, so still good for them.
Well, I don't think a team should feel much worse about a win than the Eagles. They beat my Bills by 1 point in the ugliest, sloppiest, most disgusting display of football from an overwhelmingly amount of talent on the field on both sides. Like, oh man, like to throw for, did he even have a passing yard in the fourth?
No.
In the second half? What was that stat?
I'm pretty sure, I think he had 0 passing yards in the second half.
Oh my God.
I could be wrong, but I think as an offense, they had like 17 yards in the second half.
That is incredible.
Pretty brutal. I think it was all rushing, and like still that's not that many rushing still.
That is
like
absolutely incredible.
I mean, the Bills offense couldn't get going, but I mean, 13 points and you win. That's insane. Like, that is absolutely insane. You're looking at like the play-by-play stuff with the Eagles in the second half. 5 plays, punt, all runs. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, kneel. That's insane. But the Bills before that were punt, 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 turnover on downs, punt. And then they scored 2 touchdowns, getting the extra point blocked. That was a problem. The only real controversy in this game is going to end up being the 2-point conversion, choice. But they had the look, they had the play, they had the route, they had the guy getting open, they had the separation. You just had this possibly the best quarterback in football missing a wide open throw. You can't account for that.
No.
You had everything. You had the exact look that you wanted. If it would have hit him in the hands, that would have been the perfect play call. But he just sailed the throw, pulled it left, and Sean McDermott and Joe Brady are stupid.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think there was any other choice you could make there. Like, Buffalo had scored 0 points outside of the last, 8 minutes of the game. You struggled all night long to move the ball. James Cook was banged up, and he was basically sitting toward the end of the game. Josh Allen was visibly injured with that ankle. Spencer Brown was hurt. Like, you were begging to get out of that game, win or lose. The fact that they even had a chance to win was a bonus, really, because this game means nothing for either team other than from a seeding standpoint. So the fact that you had a chance to win was good enough in itself. So you go and end the game right there from 2 yards out. And like you said, the look was there. The play call was good. The best quarterback in football misses a throw. It is what it is. And I think that there's 2 moral takeaways from this game for both teams that I had. And for the Bills, it was for your best player in Josh Allen to really play as bad as he did, to be what I would say the biggest reason why they lost with the big negative plays he took, and still only lose by 1. I consider that a win to some degree against a team of the caliber of Philadelphia. But then on the flip side for the Eagles, this was the worst run defense almost in the entire league. And they still couldn't run the fucking football. What the hell? What are they good at? How do they even get away with this anymore?
I don't know, honestly. And like they didn't throw the ball well. They legit did not have a passing yard in the second half, and they only had 17 rushing yards. That's so stupid. The fact that they had like one first down in the second half, and it was a rushing one, and then they just 3-and-outed their entire way out the game, and they won. They've won multiple games due to blocked field goals and extra points. Like they win in the most gritty, stupid ways, but it is just not possible to do that in the playoffs every single game. Like they're going to need a Saquon Barkley 150-yard game. They're going to need that famous Jalen Hurts late postseason game where he just rips down the field to Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. I don't know. If they're doing this, what they're currently doing, they have no shot to make it out the wild card.
Nope. No, they don't. It's like being able to run the ball is at least the bare minimum for them. And to not be able to do it against the Bills is at this point in the year where you're supposed to be finding your stride, getting hot, to look like that, like it's damning. It's really, really damning. Theo actually tweeted something that was rather hilarious, and I think it's got to be real. I don't think he would tweet this satirically. The Packers are 0-3 in games where they don't punt, and the Eagles are 3-0 in games where they have 5 passing yards and a half.
That's so. I think that is actually true.
That is insane.
Which is terrifying.
Oh my
like,
God.
That's so. How?
I don't know.
That makes no sense.
I'm sure that who's that guy that we've been seeing on Twitter lately that is rage baiting the entire NFL community? You know what I'm talking about?
I do, but I don't know his name, and it's going to stay that way.
He's going to. I'm waiting for an irrational video to come out from that guy after this week.
Yeah, there's like this is why people hate this team. Like they just win in the most stupid ways, and the wrong people get credit. They're like Jalen Hurts, he's a winner, man.
Yep.
He just finds ways. He found a way to do literally jack shit for an entire half and will his team to win. He did that. He's great. Sirianni did that. He's so great. They knew Josh Allen would have his worst missed throw he's ever had in his career. They knew that. Did
you see the video of Sirianni walking down the tunnel and
yes.
And then did you see AJ Brown's face when he was yelling?
I don't think I even looked at that.
Sirianni's yelling some bullshit walking down the tunnel after they won, like he usually does. And AJ Brown walks up next to him and gives him the most like, shut the fuck up, dude, look ever.
Yeah.
It just is like depressingly representing of probably how the relationship is. Like AJ Brown might be gone this offseason.
Good.
It might break.
Bring him to me.
Oh, you? What do you fucking need him for?
We have nothing else. At least give us receivers.
You have them.
But we have nothing else. So give us more.
Okay.
We'll just load up on that. We have corners now. We have a good corner room.
Yes.
Underrated. Dax Hill's been underrated. Great today. Bengals were great today. Defense is great today. We shut down the Jacoby Brissett.
You did, yes. Trey McBride garbage time points went crazy though.
Dude, he had like 5 yards going into like the fourth quarter.
Dude, I was crashing out. I played him and I'm like, dude, bro, what is happening?
Yeah, it was like 4th and goal from like the 19 or whatever. They threw up a prayer on like our backup, like a backup safety. And they're like, yeah, touchdown. He's like, that was so. I didn't care. We were winning by like 25 points. It was just fantasy purposes. He almost screwed me over in like multiple leagues.
Yeah, literally like a random backup defensive back trying to keep up with Trey McBride in the back of the end zone. Like,
that was brutal.
Oh man. Well, I think that's all we have for week 17. If you guys have any comments, thoughts, anything you want to share with us, leave it down in the comments. You could join the Discord linked down below as well. And we will see you in episode 84.